The plane you see here belonged to the Kenya Air Force. By the time when it had an accident, Kenya Air Force had temporarily changed its name to 82 Air Force. This plane fell on 16th April 1992. It was an 82 Air Force DHC-5. It fell in Nairobi. For all the 46 people aboard the aircraft and 6 people on the ground, that is 52 people died. It fell shortly after takeoff. It had taken off from Moi Air Force Base when engine number 2 failed. An attempt to return the aircraft stalled out of control, and 1 mile from the airport it hit houses. That was in 1992. You remember Kina Ishmael Chelanga, provincial commissioner and a personal friend of mine, and others, Kina Godana, they were going to Marsabit for a peace meeting. They took off with an Air Force aeroplane. I think it was a Buffalo. It hit the Marsabit Hill. You remember, in 1996, along the Suguta Marmar Valley, a police airplane carrying the then Samburu District Commissioner. I do not remember his name, but all that I know that he was a Kisi by tribe, fell in Suguta Marmar Hill. I remember that time I happened to be in Kisi, and I was in Kisi because of a by-election then, where Zakaria Onyonka had died, and I was going to see Mr. Kasheru, who was the returning officer and had been accommodated at Kisi Hotel. So that Kisi Hotel is the same hotel that people were organizing for the funeral of that district commissioner who fell. I have personally had an experience with, by the way, I have only traveled once in an helicopter, which happened to be a Puma Air Force helicopter. Not Puma Buffalo is ndio lori yao. Buffalo is their lorry, but Puma is an helicopter. I'm not an Air Force man, but I think I'm right. So the transport plane, which I think is a Buffalo, I traveled with it a lot of times when I was in Northeastern, because we only needed to prove that you are a civil servant and then book it at Isili Air Base, which is Moi Air Base. So when you book, you'd be there on Wednesday, and it would take you to Northeastern. It would take you to Wajir, to Garissa, Wajer, Elwak, Mandera, and Moyale, and then back to Nairobi. It used to leave Nairobi around 6. By lunchtime, it is in Mandera, where they would take lunch. An hour or so it is in Moyale. So around 3, it is back in Isili every Wednesday. But on one occasion, which was also on a Wednesday, I boarded an helicopter. What had happened is that Julius Chacha, Julius Chacha, who later retired as a lieutenant colonel, had booked it for me, but a member of parliament from Northeastern happened to come there, and they had to drop one name, that which was happening to be me. Then Julius Chacha, who later retired as an Air Force Lieutenant Colonel, and Major Gabriel Wafula, who retired as an helicopter pilot of the rank of Major, both made sure that I boarded an helicopter, a military helicopter, Puma. I've only had that one chance, and what happened was that as we were about to board the plane, it failed to start. The helicopter failed to start. That was in 1989. The helicopter failed to start, and we were told to return back to the waiting bay. So they did whatever they did, and they started the engine, and they saw that stopping and then starting when passengers were on board would be risky. So they decided to let the engine on, and we boarded it when the engine was on. That was risky because with such a thing you should even call off the journey. And then we took off and went to I alighted at Garissa. So my purpose of recording this is to bring to the attention of people that we have been having accidents. Our disciplined forces, our planes are in, it did not start today. If I'm not wrong, I first noticed it in 1989. And if you look at the way we buy planes, usually we are given second-hand planes, either as gifts or how can you start a matatu with a second-hand nini? If you want to start a matatu business, buy a brand new. If it is a personal vehicle, then maybe, but matatu you don't start with a second-hand. Most of our planes are that way. Look at the 3 presidential planes. They were bought during Moi's time. And those planes which were manufactured when Moi was the president are now supposed to be out of service. These are now planes which are supposed to be sold. Then we add more money and buy better and more modern planes for the president. And even the military. If I'm not wrong, it is only the KWS that have not heard of their planes falling. Police, military, everything. Government planes are flying coffins. Thank you.